guys, today I'm going to go over how to do the figure drawing packet. Now, a lot of people ask me, or they tell me, I can't draw a figure, meaning the human form, realistically. It just does not look good. And most of the time, it's because people haven't been taught how to do it. So today I'm going to teach you some of the basics of how you could draw the human form in motion. And then this is going to prepare us later on for future projects. So it says the human skeleton, the human body has more than 650 muscles and 200 bones. Below is a picture of some of the major bones in the human body. So it goes through and it shows you the spine. It shows you the different bones of the arm, the different bones of the leg, and there's nothing you have to do with this worksheet right here. This is literally just for reference. Okay, so we're going to go to the first part of the packet, and I'm going to switch to my document camera. And I will tell you that this video is going to cover the first part of the packet, which is the figures. And then if we're working on the face, that is going to be the second part of the packet. All right, I'm adjusting the exposure here just to see, but it's too much. All right, so on the back of the first page, it says this. To make a figure drawing a bit easier, we will start with a stick figure that has an upside down trapezoid for the torso and a right side up trapezoid for the hips. Draw the figure on the left in the box on the right. So a lot of this packet is going to be copying because you're trying to see if you can learn this method of how to draw the figure. Now, this is a little bit of an easier one, and I wanted to start you out on purpose that way. So let's start with the torso, okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to draw this trapezoid to the best of my ability. I really want you to keep in mind that you need to draw lightly because when you first start out, you're going to have a lot of erasing in this packet. And so I want to mentally prepare you that you are going to have erasing. So I made that spine a little too short, but that's okay. All right, so I'm going to go through. I'm going to do the head. I get the trapezoid done. And then I go through and I make the shoulder joint. And I'll make the arm where it connects with the elbow. And then this big circle here, that's just supposed to represent the hand. Make sure that your elbow joints are about equal. And then I would add the legs, the knee joint, and the feet. All right, so I did that pretty fast, but again, I've done this before and I made up this packet, so obviously I'm a little bit better at this than you may be. So it may take you a few tries and that's totally fine. Now, when we move to the next portion of the packet, we're getting into a little bit more complicated figure drawings. So this page, what you're going to do, it says, if an artist changes the angle of the hips and shoulders, so that's this right here and this right here, then it can alter the attitude and pose of the figure. Slanting lines in opposite directions give your figure more movement. Copy the figures on the top and the bottom boxes. So if you look at here, when I slanted it this way, but then I slanted it the opposite way, that gives the figure more attitude and movement. When it's the same way, it doesn't do that as much. It's not wrong. It's just different, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you how to do one of these. I think I'll do figure 2. So on figure 2, I made the spine, which is this darker Sharpie part, the hips and the shoulder, obviously darker than the rest of it. It's because I want you to draw it first. So I would draw the spine, and this is where you may have to erase, okay? So I'm drawing this, and I'm looking how close I did that to the top. May or may not work. And then I'm going to draw the hip joints. Keep in mind, even for this packet, I'm pretty sure I tried to draw these all almost twice. Okay, then I'm going to do the top of the torso, I guess it's called. Okay, then I'm going to start putting in the shoulders. So the circle for the shoulder joint, then like the top of the arm, And then I might want to see if I can do the hip joint because I see that this has to come over. So here's my hip joint, shoulder joint, elbow joint. There's another joint. Okay. So you can see, I'm kind of seeing how this goes. It's not perfect, but I do the best I can. If you want it to be perfect, you'll have to do it many times. So when I'm done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see what's wrong with it. And I know you're thinking like, well, lady, you're the art teacher. Like, why do you need to see what's wrong with it? Well, because no drawing is ever perfect. So when I look at this, okay, this leg is bent. That's fine. But then when I look up here, this is straight and I bent mine. So I need to fix that. I might even have to fix the entire leg to make this correct. So if I make this straight, I'm going to have to erase that. And I want you to really like see the reality of how to do this, that it is a lot of erasing. Okay, so that's the point. If I wanted to do this perfectly, I guess I could, but it's not reality in art. Okay, so I went ahead and I fixed that. Honestly, the hips could be a little probably less wide, so I could move this over if I wanted to, but this is pretty close. So then I would go to the next figure and I would start out with the spine and the hips. Spine, hips, shoulders, until I got this all completed. When I move on to the next section, it slowly gets harder. So on here, let's see, I can't remember which one is first on this packet. So if this goes here, this goes here. All right. So it says, in order to give your figure form, connect the trapezoids to form a torso. Use sausage-like tubes to connect shoulders to elbows to hands and hips to knees and feet. Draw step 1 and step 2 in the box below. You only need to draw one figure. I did give you an extra box here in case you mess up so severely that you need a second one. Now, you're going to draw this first. This is exactly the same as what you did on this side. So you know how to do that. So don't freak out. So I would go ahead and I would draw this in this box right here. But the difference is now I'm going to be adding what they said, sausage-like tubes around the figure. So if I take and I draw this figure here, and this spine, I want to show you, you always do the spine first and then the hips. It is like a really wavy spine. And then I would go through and the shoulder joint is a little curved. This is mostly straight here. And you can even take your pencil and put it on the hip joint and put it on the shoulder joint and then bring it down to see accurately how it should be done. So I'll go through. I'll add the shoulder joints and I want to get that torso in. Don't forget about the torso. The torso, if I didn't explain that, is the upper part of your body. Okay, so then I do the hips. And then I'm going to check how far it is away. So if I look at that distance, it looks a little long to me, like this lower part of the spine. So I'm going to actually bring it up a bit. And this constant checking, again, is super important in order to get your drawing realistic. That's like a little, looks like the Grim Reaper hook. Sometimes in gesture drawing, which is basically what this is, they're giving you just a very loose form. It doesn't have a lot of detail, and that's the point. All right. There's another hook. Woohoo. Okay, so I have that down. That's the first step, getting that down. Now, I got to make this into a figure. So I'm going to add that bottom trapezoid. I almost said trapeze. And then I'll connect them because I'm trying to make the stomach area. And then I'm going to do what they told me in terms of the sausage or, I don't know, ovals or whatever you're doing. You want to add that on to make your figure have more bulk, more form. Now, you could make your figure look like they lift weights if you really wanted to. I don't suggest making all of them that way because it might look like you don't know how to do it. Okay, so I'm adding around all my figures, just like that. Okay, So I would double check it. If you want another one to practice, you can. Again, you might have to erase quite a bit. When we get to this part, this is putting it all together, and I give you a step-by-step instructions on what it's supposed to look like. So there are quite a few of these. I accidentally printed this over one of my zoo general admission tickets at my house, but you get the gist. You're going to follow the steps, and there are quite a few of these. There are, let me see how many I did. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there are 4 altogether that you are going to finish. And then on the next video, I will go through how to do the face part of this packet. Again, I want to reiterate, this is hard, but this is a skill that if you master it and you learn how to do it, you will be so pleased at your drawing skills and how well you are able to draw people. So hang in there, get an eraser, and let's do this.